Hello, it's Jeff from jeffrey-thomas.com, and I'm going to go ahead and preview through my bass tab arrangement for Rio by Duran Duran. A lot of bass students requesting the old school 80s funk pop, and this is a shining example of that. So let's run through page one. I'll take it nice and slow, and make sure you're following the link in the description to the tablature on my website. Here we go. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Verse. Okay. I missed one of the dead notes on the first measure of the verse. Sorry. It's all right. So let's talk about what's going on with this tune. We're basically playing over an E pentatonic phrase for the first bit. I'm going to play the first measure for you with counting. So 1 and 2, E and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, E and 3 and 4 and. So if you don't understand that language that I'm speaking there with the counting, make sure you're spending some time learning about counting, because this is a very syncopated tune. It's complex rhythmically, has a lot of 16th notes in it, some dead note tricks and some ties, and it's definitely not what you're going to find on ultimateguitartab.com, with all respect. So let's go over the dead note thing. Back to the first measure, so we've got that right there. So the X that you see written on the third string, you're going to basically be prepping a 5. So your first finger is ready to go on the 5, but what you do is you hit it without putting your first finger down. And that's going to be the case for every one of these dead notes that you see on the page. So it's typically I punch the dead notes a little bit harder because it's a percussive element that you're going to put into your line. If we go to the second measure, top line, we've got okay, so they're just like little clicks when you're listening to it. The tricky one is the last measure of the third line over the C sharp chord. He goes. So you definitely want to work out the strategy on that, and also, once again, understanding the counting is going to be super important. I'm not too strict on my students with what's going on in the right hand, because there's definitely more than one way to get the job done, but I like to alternate. So that's a good example, measure to talk about for an example. The last measure of the third line. I'm trying to alternate here in the right hand. You're not going to get that by going, one fingering it. So definitely alternating with I and M, your first finger and your middle finger, is the way to get this kind of playing done. Most advanced playing you're going to have to alternate for in your right hand, unless you're going to use a pick. I don't think that the dude from Duran Duran is using a pick. I think he's a pretty legit funk guy. So anyway, hopefully that's a good walkthrough of this tune. And if you'd like the full song, just go ahead and submit your email and I'll throw the tablature to you. And if you have any questions about this tune or anything else, make sure you hit me up so we can set up a free Skype bass lesson. All right, thanks. Bye-bye.